Hey guys, welcome back to Triple F Shooting. Today we are looking at volume 3, that's it, 3 of the AR-RPK, and the only real update this time is that you may notice we have a barrel mounted front sight post. So before we get too deep into it, I will, good to go, it's heavier than it should have been. Also have switched to starting with a dual mag. I guess you can call that another update, but realistically the main part is that front sight post. So what is it, where did I get it, and why do I have it on there? This is Klein Machining, who came up with the upper in the first place, his iteration of a front sight post for the barrel mount to basically give you as much as possible sight radius. It also just looks a whole lot better than putting your front sight on the end of your handguard. You gain another approximately somewhere around 6-7 inches of sight radius, and what that's going to do for you, there's a lot of gun and not a lot of table. It's basically, let's get this out the way because no one cares. If I were going to run this thing irons only, which this rear sight is not really meant for that. It is a better backup than anything. But the longer my sight radius, the better my chance at having good accuracy on the other end. Having it fixed to the barrel, I actually really like that. I am a fixed front, flip up rear kind of guy, because when I'm going through an optic, I like having that 3-prong in the front with the optic behind it. It kind of gives you a point of reference, and you can float your dot above it. You're not really going to pay a lot of attention to that through the optic, but it is for me, it's a quick sight picture that I like quite a bit. It is a fairly easy to install piece. I'm not going to do it on camera for YouTube reasons, but he includes a couple of 3D printed, basically helpful little tools for the install, because while the initial part is basically take off your muzzle device, remove your bipod, slide it over the barrel, and then it has basically a clamp setup with a bolt for the initial setup. Get it tightened down, kind of clock it on your barrel, crank her down, take it out and actually sight it in, which I've got a little bit of footage of that. There should have been better footage of it, but the camera didn't really cooperate with about half of it, and I gave up. So you'll get to see me just kind of messing around with it. It is AR front sight post all the way, so basic tool or bullet tip is going to cover you for any of your elevation. In some cases, your rear sight may have elevation and windage. In this case, this is a pretty minimalist, and I'll get up close pictures because I really like it. Pretty minimalist rear sight. It's a Midwest Industries flip up. It has kind of a between an A2 and an A1 aperture, so it's not tiny, but it also gives me enough accuracy to do a pretty good job while being open enough to actually act like a backup sight, because I'm not going to use that as my primary for the most part. It is windage adjustable with this very small knob, so I did that back and forth. If you're hearing a bunch of crunching and jingling and all sorts of stuff, we got a new dog, so might as well. Kimber, come here. Come here. Might as well. Come on. Okay, you're gonna do that. This is Kimber. She's young and adorable and obnoxious and loud, and that was what you were hearing. So there you go, puppy stuff. But back to what I was saying, sighting in, very simple, like any other AR-15. It wouldn't make much sense to be any different. Once you have finished that, I should add that the quality of the machining on the front sight is very good. It is actually phosphated, or I should say parkerized, just like the barrel is, so it all looks very nice and it should be very durable. And then along with the 3D print kit to help with install, and he does have a video of exactly how to do that, so I might link that, or at least give you an idea of a name to go look at. but he also includes the drill bit that you will need and the reamer that you will need in order to install the pins, because once this thing is on, clocked, and you've got it cranked down tight and you're happy with it, you're going to want to pin it to your barrel. That's going to include drilling just a tiny little shallow divot in the barrel, driving a pin through so that now there's no movement at any time in the future, kind of like you would do with a front gas, almost said front sight post, but a lot of those are combined. The gas block in most cases is going to be pinned. So same concept with that front sight post, and that's going to help out quite a bit. Like I said, was hoping to have more footage of it, but when I did take this thing out and shoot with just the irons, hits at 300 were no problem. Once I got her dialed in and clocked to where it needed to be, shot quite a few on steel at 3 and 400, and then threw the dot on to basically reference to it, and everything was peach keen. Very happy with this thing. As far as my relationship goes and how I got it, this was given to me. I did not have to pay for it, and it was just asked if I would throw the thing on there and do a review. There are many other people that have this upper, and I'm sure there are many other people that have this front sight post and that will like this front sight post. But just so you know, I didn't pay for it, so bias beware and all that good stuff. But for the value of it, it doesn't run much different than most solid front sight blocks or rear sights. I think he's got it on there for about 180. I'll look it up and throw it up there while we're talking about it. But at the moment, it is a rock solid piece of kit that gives you a little more traditional look and a very good long sight radius setup for your AR-RPK. In my opinion, just like the carry handle and the M60 bipod, it is pretty necessary to the whole get up. But this is a pretty short one. Just wanted to say thanks to Klein Machining for sending this out and for giving me a chance to test it. Couldn't be happier with it, and if you have one of these kits, it is definitely worth picking up. So with that being said, thanks for watching Triple F Shooting. I'll see you in the next one.